And Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said that tasahhar, eat sahur. Sahur is the pre-dawn meal, the one we know very well. فَإِنَّ فِي السُّحُورِ بَرَكَةً. Surely there is a blessing in sahur. So there are two words. There is a sahur with fatha on the sin, and there is suhoor. A sahur is the time with the fatha, sahur. And suhoor is the food or the meal we eat during that time. So suhoor is the meal itself. They say, فَإِنَّ فِي السُّحُورِ بَرَكَةً. That meal of suhoor is a blessed meal. So in this hadith, we understand that it is recommended and sunnah for us to eat sahur, to eat suhoor, even a little bit of food, just for the purposes of following the guidance of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Like we said yesterday, that our deen is balanced, is in wasata, in the middle. So we are known people who are saying, okay, we are going to fast, but we shall not eat any sahur, any pre-dawn meal. We must eat pre-dawn meal, the sahur, and we prepare for it, and we prepare for that, and we eat that meal in order to prepare ourselves for fasting next day. So in this hadith, there's a number of benefits. The first one, that it is sunnah to eat suhoor. It is sunnah to eat suhoor. Like we said, even if, like Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam said, tasahharu walau bujur'ati ma. That eat suhoor, even if it's just a little bit of water. Just for the purposes of what? Of barakah, and for following the guidance of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Second, the hadith indicated that فَإِنَّ فِي السُّحُورِ بَرَكَةً, that there is blessing, there is barakah in eating suhoor. So the ulama said the barakah here is evident, is clear. So they say, because if someone eats suhoor, is going to be strong when he's fasting in the next day. So his body is going to have energy, is going to be able to fast the next day. If someone does not eat sahur, obviously, is going to be weak. Because, and also most importantly, likewise, when we eat food, one of the du'as that the Prophet ﷺ taught us is, Allahumma barik lana fima razaqtana. That, oh Allah, grant barakah in what you have provided for us. So we are seeking barakah from Allah in the food. This is all the meals we make that dua, right? So the ulama said the most mubarak food, the most blessed food, is that food we eat and is going to assist us to perform ibadah. And it's evident that if we eat sahur, sahur is going to assist us to observe fasting in the next day. So this food is mubarak. So the barakah is guaranteed in this food, because it's going to assist us in doing the ibadah of observing fasting. Tamam? That's why Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam said, "Tasahharu fa inna fi suhuri barakah." Also, some of the benefits that the ulama drew from this hadith, they said, for example, that sahur is also a means of encouragement of fasting tomorrow. of course, fasting is wajib for Ramadan, but also there are some days which are sunnah, for instance. So if sometimes someone is not sure, am I going to fast tomorrow or not going to fast tomorrow? But once he stands up, he wakes up to eat sahur, halas. This is enough for encouragement that halas, I've eaten sahur, tomorrow confirm I'm going to fast. So sahur is also one of the means for encouragement of fasting. Yeah. Also some of the benefits, one of the benefits the ulama mentioned is they say that if someone wakes up for sahur in the morning, it's also an opportunity that someone, he will not only eat sahur, but he can also spare some minutes to make dua in that, honorable and that noble hour and that noble time. Make some istighfar, make some dua, and make some salah at night. So sahur is also giving us that opportunity. Now, another hadith. وعن زيد بن ثابت رضي الله عنه قال: تسحرنا مع رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم ثم قمنا إلى الصلاة قيل كم كان بينهما قال قدر 50 آية متفق عليه. In this hadith, it was reported by Zayd bin Thabit رضي الله عنه, who said, تسحرنا, we took sahur with the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. ثم قمنا إلى الصلاة, then we stood up for salah. قيل, it was asked, كم كان بينهما, how long was the gap between suhoor and salah fajr? He said, قال, Zayd said, قدر 50 آية, the time required to recite 50 verses of Quran. So the ulama of Islam, they said that gap between that gap which is required to recite 50 verses of Quran is around 30 minutes. That's 30 minutes. So meaning that they ate sahur before Fajr, 30 minutes before Fajr, around that time. Yeah. That's why, so also one of the benefits of this hadith, that in Shafi'i madhab, they say it is recommended to leave that gap before Fajr, and it's called al-imsak, waqtul imsak. It's better to leave that time interval, and that time interval is called al-imsak, around 30 minutes before Fajr, to abstain from food. Even if you are still allowed to eat and drink, but to leave that time interval just without eating, it's called al-imsak. So we understand from this hadith that first of all, it is sunnah to delay suhoor. So now, when does the time of suhoor comes? The ulama said the time of eating suhoor starts from midnight. So the middle of the night. So if the night has 12 hours, so after 6 hours at night, alas, now the time of suhoor has started. And when is it recommended to eat sahur? It's recommended to delay it towards Fajr time, like 30 minutes before Fajr time. So someone must not say, okay, after Salat Tarawih, let me eat my sahur now. Now the time for suhoor hasn't come yet. The time for suhoor starts after midnight. Another benefit we get from this hadith is that it's an indication that someone must eat all his food at night, but before Fajr, before dawn. It must be before dawn. like we're going to see in another hadith. So there's some people who are spreading some fatwa and some clips mentioning that if someone has a vessel in his hand and the muaddin makes adhan, he can continue with eating and drinking. Or someone has something in the mouth, he can proceed with his eating. All this is not true. All that's not true. Why? I'm going to explain to you. The next hadith is going to help us to understand. Because yes, it was mentioned in the hadith that Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam said, if adhan is made, and the hadith is right, there's a hadith like that. If you have a vessel in your hand and the muaddin is making adhan, you can finish your eating. Yes, there's a hadith which is like that. But how do we understand that hadith? Can we understand that hadith plainly like that? No. So in the first place, if we take that hadith by its face and say, if someone hears the adhan, he can continue with his eating, actually it will be contradicting with the verse of the Quran. Because in Surah Al-Baqarah, verse 187, Allah says in Quran, فَكُلُوا وَاشْرَبُوا حَتَّى يَتَبَيَّنَ لَكُمُ الْخَيْطُ الْأَبْيَضُ مِنَ الْخَيْطِ الْأَسْوَدِ مِنَ الْفَجْرِ. That eat and drink until the white thread appears from its black thread in the Fajr, during dawn. So it's clear. So Allah is now referring to the time of dawn, when dawn appears from the darkness. So this is a very clear verse from Quran saying we must stop. Kulu washrab, eat and drink until dawn. It's clear. So now we can't have a hadith saying that if dawn comes appears to you, you can continue eating and drinking and finish what's in your hand. That will be contradiction. That's number one. Second, the hadith, which is our next hadith, is saying, وعن ابن عمر رضي الله عنهما قال كان رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم كان لرسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم مؤذنان. That the Prophet صلى الله عليه وسلم had two mu'adhins, two people calling for salah. Bilal, he had Bilal, وابن مكتوم, and another mu'adhin, his name was Ibn Maktoum. He was a blind person. فقال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم, and Rasulullah said, إن بلالا يؤذن بليل, that Bilal is making adhan at night, meaning that before dawn. فكلوا واشربوا, eat and drink, حتى يؤذن ابن مكتوم, until Ibn Maktoum makes adhan. تمام. قال متفق عليه. Hadith was narrated by Bukhari and Muslim. So this hadith is clear that Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam had two people calling for adhan. So he said, if Bilal makes adhan, you can continue. If someone has something in his glass drinking, can continue because it's Bilal making adhan. But if Ibn Maktoum makes adhan, alas, everyone should stop eating. Is it clear, inshallah, now? Yeah. Because I saw a number of information on social media saying that, okay, you can just continue with whatever you are eating and drinking until you complete. Now that will be dangerous, because normally the injunctions of Sharia, they must be fixed and organized. They can't be plain like that and open. So you can't just say, just eat and drink and complete whatever is in your hand. So it's too plain to be true. So it must be well communicated, and it must have boundaries. So from this time until this time. You can't just say, just do until you finish. So what? So here, what is the criteria? So there's no criteria. Yeah. Right. So we benefit from this hadith in a number of things. The first one is جواز الأذان للصبح قبل طلوع الفجر. It's permissible to make adhan even before Fajr, for the purposes of reminding people to wake up for Qiyamul Layl, for Sahur and all that. Another benefit is جواز الأكل والشرب والجماع إلى طلوع الفجر. It's allowed, even if we say it's recommended to leave like 30 minutes, which is called al-imsak. It is recommended, it's desirable, but it's not a must. So meaning that it's allowed for someone to continue eating and drinking until dawn. If it's now time for dawn, he must stop eating. Even if he has some food in the mouth, he has to take it out. Now, even if someone has some small particles of food, the remains of the food in the mouth, if they make adhan, he must make sure that nothing goes, he swallows nothing. If something goes beyond the throat, alas, the fasting is broken. And he must make up for that day after Ramadan. It's dangerous. That's why it's better for someone to live like 30 minutes imsak. Someone must brush his teeth properly and wash the mouth, raising the mouth properly, so that if time for adhan, time for raising the mouth comes, time for dawn comes, alas, the mouth is clean and you can't do any mistakes. Tamam. Aywa. Another benefit we get from this hadith, jawazu adhanul a'ma. It's allowed, it's permissible to have a mu'adhin calling for adhan who is a blind person. Because Ibn Maktum, surprisingly, Bilal, who was not blind, he used to make adhan at night. But Ibn Maktum, who was a blind, he used to make adhan, during time, during dawn. Because now the ulama said that it is permissible to have a mu'adhin who is a blind person. Tamam? But on condition, there must be someone who is not blind to tell him that it's now time. Because even Ibn Maktum, there was Bilal who would tell him, now, Ibn Maktum, asbahta, asbahta, it's now time, it's now time. And he would call for adhan after Fajr. Yeah. Now, another benefit is from this hadith is jawazul akl ba'da niyyah. It's permissible for someone to eat after making niyyah of fasting tomorrow. So if someone makes niyyah, nawaitu sawma ghadi an adai fardhi shahri Ramadan lillahi ta'ala, hadhihi sana lillahi ta'ala. So does it mean that he must stop eating now? No. He can continue with eating, and this niyyah is fine, it's perfect. And when he eats again, he doesn't need to make another niyyah for fasting tomorrow. He must continue with his fasting. Tamam. We also benefit from the hadith that it's sunnah to delay sahur towards Fajr time. Also, the hadith indicates that it's permissible اتخاذ مؤذنين للمسجد الكبير. That if the masjid is big, it is recommended, or it's permissible to have two mu'adhins. Two mu'adhins, if there's a need for that. If there's a need, we can even make more mu'adhin for Fajr. Like Sayyidina Uthman radiallahu anhu, he put 4 mu'adhins. Make adhan. This adhan, second adhan, and fourth adhan, and the fourth adhan. If there's a need, we can make even 4 mu'adhin. Even like during Jum'ah Salah, during the days of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, there was only one adhan. But during the reign of the Sahaba, they thought that there's a need to make the second adhan to remind people who are busy working that it's now time for Jummah. And now the Sahabas are the ones who put in place the second adhan on Friday, on Jummah. Another hadith, وعن عمرو بن العاص رضي الله عنه أن رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم قال: فضل ما بين صيامنا وصيام أهل الكتاب أكلة السحر. That the difference between our fasting, the fasting of Ummah Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and the fasting of the people of the book, the Christians and the Jews, aklatu sahari, eating suhoor. Eating suhoor. Like we have said, so our deen is different. Is balancing everything. So before making saum, before observing fasting, there is sahur. It's sunnah to eat what? To eat suhoor. So Nabi Sallallahu said, eat sahur even if it's a portion of water. Yeah. The next hadith عن سهل بن سعد رضي الله عنه أن رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم قال: لا يزال الناس بخير ما عجلوا الفطرة. ما عجلوا الفطرة. That people are still ما زال الناس بخير. People are still doing good ما عجلوا الفطرة, as long as they are breaking their fast early. So meaning that this hadith tells us that it's sunnah and it's recommended for us to break our fast early, immediately after adhan. We must break our fast. That's why Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam said it is haram to do what we call al-wisal. Al-wisal means someone to fast and he doesn't break his fast at all, and to fast day and night. That's called al-wisal. And Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam said it is haram for us to do al-wisal. So if someone, even if someone is so busy and he can't eat the whole meal now, it is sunnah to eat something light just to break our fast. Tamam. Aywa. طيب، وصلى الله على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم، والحمد لله رب العالمين.